Milan's title charge is slipping through their fingers after just the solitary point gained in their last 2 league outings. All they can do is pray that Inter falter and that they can gain maximum points from the remaining 12 games of the season. Today they take on Cremonese. They make the short trip across Lombardy to take on the Grigio-Rossi. It is Cremonese who come into this one not in the best of form. They haven't won a league game since December. However, they did get the better of Milan at San Siro in game week 1, the first game week of the season. So it's win or bust for Milan. They currently sit 13 points behind their city rivals Inter in the Serie A standings, and they know they must win here in Cremona this afternoon if they want to keep alive their hopes of lifting the Scudetto at the end of the season. It is Milan who make the short trip over to Cremonese here on this Sunday afternoon lunchtime kickoff. Alexis Salamakers into Pulisic, who was in an offside position. High line by Davide Nicola's men. Van de Putte. Easy for Mike Maignan. Great bursting run forward there from Strahinja Pavlovic. It's something that he's really added to his game this season under Allegri. Chipped in with a couple of goals to the Serbian. Inverted run just is Fofana. Lovely feet from Fofana. Bonazzoli showing too much of it there to Rabiot. This is Pavlovic. It's really high press here from Cremonese. Bonazzoli releases Van de Putte. He's got Vardy in support. Bonazzoli too. Van de Putte out for a corner. It's been a great start from the Grigio-Rossi. Van de Putte standing over this corner once again. Vardy. Vardy! Out for a third corner in quick succession. Pezzella launches it towards Torsby. Lofted back in by Pezzella, easy for Fofana. Leao goes down, the referee plays another advantage. This is Salamakers on the offensive, he's got Pulisic in support. Salamakers might go it alone. Well, not for the first time in the game. Great officiating by the referee Davide Massa, because there was a foul on Rafael Leao deep in the Milan half just here, but he played the advantage and it gave Milan the chance to open the scoring. Salamakers doing it all himself. Christian Pulisic not quite doing enough to get away from Bianchetti and Zerbin. Almost 25 gone here at the Zini. Modric gets it back from Bartesaghi. Modric delivers with the left. Commanding and calm goalkeeping there from Emil Laudero. Bianchetti. Bonazzoli. Now Luperto. Cremonese looking comfortable in possession. Pezzella delivers in towards Torsby. And Bonazzoli's effort takes a little nick and out for a corner. Maignan was flat-footed. It's that service once again from Giuseppe Pezzella that's causing problems for Cremonese. All eyes were on Morten Torsby. It was too long for him, and Bonazzoli creeping round the back. Van de Putte with the corner in towards Luperto. This is Youssef Malé. Bonazzoli expertly keeping it in play. Van de Putte and Torsby. Jamie Vardy hits it on the volley and it flashes wide of the target. Great start from the Grigio-Rossi here at the Zini. Such an important moment to get the goals psychologically. Here goes Rafael Leao, who's got the pace to get away from Bianchetti. Leao! The goal was at his mercy, but the Portuguese has put it wide. And that just about sums up Milan at the moment. A wry smile on the face of coach Max Allegri. Such a simple ball from Fofana. And Leao is always going to get to the ball before the Cremonese skipper, Matteo Bianchetti. He beat Audero. Modric takes the low route. Why not? The three Cremonese centre-backs have been almost faultless at dispossessing lofted balls into the box. 2 minutes to go until half-time. Rabiot into the path of Fofana. Drops for Pulisic on the spin. It's another block after block from this Cremonese back line. Bartesaghi. Milan just turning it up a gear in these late stages of the first half. Beautiful interplay from Cremonese. It is once again one pass too many. Rabiot will keep this in. Into Pulisic. Attacked at the front post by the American, just too long. And then into the grateful arms of Audero. Great pace to the game, great energy. Still goalless, of course. Is that about to change, though? Torsby. Both sides would love a goal before half-time. Zerbin. Van de Putte, there's that great delivery. Just too close to Maignan this time. Milan cannot afford Jari Van de Putte that amount of space to cross. Counter-attack here for the Rossoneri. Here goes Christian Pulisic. Pulisic! Well, for the second time in this half, it was Youssouf Fofana who played the ball through. It was a delightful ball into the path of one of his attackers. And for the second time, they couldn't bury the chance. Christian Pulisic, perhaps the ball just bouncing up before he struck it just there. Decent ball in, attacked by Rabiot. He's claiming there was a touch from Morten Torsby. Didn't look to be one. The referee was right on hand. Max Allegri looks as bemused as Rabiot. We get the luxury of having another look at it. Difficult to tell from that angle. Maybe this one will give us more insight. Well, 1 minute added on. Milan creating a lot more in the last 10 minutes than they did in the previous 35. Fofana into the feet of Pulisic once again. One more chance in this first half for Milan. Fofana, Fofana! Wonderful goalkeeping from Audero. A fingertip save to his right-hand side, denying the Frenchman. For the first time in the half, the Cremonese defenders not getting close enough to the Milan players on the edge of the box. And Audero at his very best there. And the referee calls time on the first half. It was a first half in which Milan took a long time to find their feet. Big chances for Rafael Leao, Christian Pulisic and Youssouf Fofana right at the end of the half. Cremonese did their part to frustrate the Rossoneri. They had a couple of half chances themselves through Bonazzoli and Jamie Vardy. Still goalless at the break here at the Zini. Much work to do for Max Allegri's Milan side. We go in, Cremonese 0, Milan 0. It was an impressive last 10 minutes of the first half from the Rossoneri. Can they pick up from where they left off, or will it be Cremonese frustrating Max Allegri's side in this second half? We're underway in this second period here at the Zini. Still 0-0 between Cremonese and Milan. Mike Maignan, of course, the club captain for Milan this season, but Matteo Gabbia has been instrumental, leading from the back. Luperto goes for goal, it takes a nick. And behind, the Cremonese fans off their seats, applauding that one. Great run from Sebastiano Luperto, and they're enjoying themselves. Last touch off Tomori. Van de Putte, that's a better delivery. Only into the path of Bonazzoli. He scored a worldie in the reverse fixture, and his eyes lit up again, Bonazzoli. Very similar to the Jamie Vardy chance in the first half. This one hit on the half volley as opposed to the full volley, but lancing wide of Maignan's goal. Here goes Rabiot, he lays it into Leao. It just won't go in for Milan this afternoon. The presence of Luperto enough. Looked as though Audero was beaten. Wonderful play from Rabiot, breaking down the left-hand channel. Bianchetti, not for the first time in the game, beaten by the pace. And Rafael Leao with another big chance by his lofty standards. Füllkrug brings it down well. He's impressed since coming on. Just as I say that, he gives it straight back to Cremonese. This is Youssouf Maleh, who's put in a very industrious performance so far. Bonazzoli, poor ball. Maleh. Both Milan and Cremonese failing to retain possession. This is Barbieri, who's full of energy, having just come on. No challenge, no foul, I should say. The challenge from Bartesaghi was a clean one. Rabiot, Füllkrug has made the run. Rabiot brings into play Rafael Leao in his more favoured position now. How threatening can he be? Rafael Leao taking on Terracciano, and it was there for Füllkrug. Who seems to have hurt himself in the process. Well, he's only just after coming on, Niklas Füllkrug. This was the chance created from Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao on the spin, gets away from Terracciano. Rafael Leao! In the end, an easy save for Audero. But he's growing into the game, Rafael Leao. He's the danger man. Two big chances for him in this second half. He looks so much more comfortable on that left-hand side of attack. Van de Putte. Swung in towards Luperto, saved by Maignan. Pavlovic at the back post, took a touch off Barbieri. Well, as we said, Milan were undone by a set piece late on against Parma last weekend. Modric into the mixer, and Niklas Füllkrug puts his header over. Great delivery from Modric. It was a quickly taken corner kick from Rafael Leao. Now Rabiot. Bartesaghi. Touch off Barbieri, another corner. Bartesaghi's gone down here. He looks as though he's in some discomfort. There'd be no reason for him to waste time, not at this late stage. So you have to take this injury fairly seriously. Milan do still have one substitution to make. They do also have a like-for-like replacement in Pervis Estupiñán, who started the game against Parma. But it is exactly the substitution that we expected. Estupiñán comes on late on. I'm not sure he would have anticipated that one. Davide Bartesaghi, they're hoping this won't be anything too serious with the derby in mind next weekend. Doesn't look good for Bartesaghi. Modric with the corner, once again taken short. This is Estupiñán. Modric De Winter attacking it, and it's found a way in. Strahinja Pavlovic keeps the title alive for Milan. Just when the faith seemed to be lost for the rossoneri, Strahinja Pavlovic with the vital touch. And this Max Allegri side are not done yet. Pavlovic, who's added goals to his game this season under Allegri, gets a monumental one here. Barbieri hooks it long. Cremonese have a player down. Mike Maignan easily claims. Well, it's Foligno who's back up on his feet. This would be Milan's 13th game away from home in which they've avoided defeat, the longest streak in Serie A. They relied on a late Modric goal against Pisa, this time Pavlovic the hero. If they'd have dropped points here against Cremonese, you feel that the title would have been wrapped up in early March. Nkunku latching onto the ball. Here goes Nkunku, he's got Rafael Leao in support. Leao! The breakaway goal, and the goal that sees Milan win here in Cremona. Nkunku unselfish. Leao, who's had a tough game himself, he's missed a couple of big opportunities, but he wasn't going to miss that one. The rossoneri coasting to a 2-0 lead. Great pace shown by Nkunku. He was aware of where Rafael Leao was. Leao had his job to do to stay behind the Frenchman and stay in an onside position. He did exactly that. And all of Cremonese's fine work is going to show for nothing. They've been undone by the quality of the rossoneri here. For large parts of this game, it was hard to distinguish which of these two clubs was fighting relegation and which was fighting for the title. But in the last 5 minutes or so, that's been evidently clear. Milan flexing their muscles. Juric. Torsby loses out. Milan on the offensive again. Can they make it embarrassing for Cremonese? Not exactly the performance that Milan wanted, but boy, that was the result they needed. It's been a tough last 11 days. But Milan have bounced back after that loss to Parma, and they stay in the title race. Inter's lead at the summit cut back down to 10 points. 2 late goals from Strahinja Pavlovic and Rafael Leao doing the business for Milan late on. Nicola's side lose yet another game. And they are very much involved in a relegation fight, the Grigio Rossi. Final score at the Zini. Cremonese 0, Milan 2.